You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 74. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving this podcast a shot. Today's guest, he is the president and CEO of Central Alabama Jaguars. I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure you all will be inspired by his story. Let's chop it up with Bryishun Pernell. Bryishun, how's it going, man?
It's going good.
Glad to hear that, man. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me a few minutes. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Of course, here to talk about Central Alabama Jaguars, but before we go there, let's get to know the president and CEO. What's your story?
Yes, sir. I am a native of Millbrook, Alabama. I graduated from Stanhope Elmore High School. I'm also a business and marketing major. I teach high school as well. And basically, I'm part of the Chamber of Commerce, local organizations, nonprofit organizations as well, but just a community-oriented person. I'm an innovator and great influencer on young people. And so I'm a community activist. So I try to get involved and do things to kind of promote myself, but promote the community in a positive manner. And so I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So I'm grateful. And so Millbrook is pretty much a small town outside of Montgomery, pretty much very small. And so we look to do different things in our community as well. But I do everything in Montgomery. Central Alabama Jaguars is based out of Montgomery. We're an American professional men's basketball team. And we're based completely out of Montgomery. We do have players from all over, Dothan. We have players from Atlanta that came and played with us this past season. And so, with me coming in, owning a team, I never played basketball. I was a track runner. A lot of people want to know what's my experience in basketball. I never played basketball, but I ran track. And so just putting on a platform for our community and redirecting energies toward positive personal and social goals. So,
okay, man, that's dope, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Millbrook, Prattville, Montgomery, man. All river region, man. We all
river
cousins,
region,
man.
correct?
Yes, sir. So let's back up a little bit. I know you said you got your degree in business and marketing. Where'd you go to school at? College at?
I actually went a couple of years at Alabama State. I finished up my degree online at Strayer University after starting to teach and everything. I work in the special ed department at Wetumpka High School. So I've been at Wetumpka High School for over 9 years working. And you have to have a calling and patience to work with, the special needs kids. And so I am very grateful for them. And shout out to Wetumpka High School for giving me the opportunity to work with those kids. And so, yeah, that's what I do on a daily basis outside of running the Central Alabama Jaguars.
Okay, man, that's dope, man. So you attended the Alabama State for a couple of years. What was the HBCU experience like for you?
It was great. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. And I still support. I still consider myself a Hornet. And so I'm very grateful for that platform as well for allowing me to come those couple of years that I've been there. And I still deal and know a lot of people that actually is affiliated with Alabama State. So very grateful for that.
Yes, sir. Nothing like the HBCU experience, that
Nothing
family
like
aspect.
Nothing like it.
Yes, sir. So let's talk more about Central Alabama Jaguars. Give us some team history.
So we formed the Central Alabama, well, I formed the Central Alabama Jaguars back in 2020, working with other organizations and other programs. And I was like, man, we really need something in Montgomery and the River region in general that's positive for young adults. And this is an adult men's basketball team between the ages of 18 and 35. And so, our goal pretty much is to strive and participate and learn community responsibility while redirecting energy towards positive and social goals as stated before. But we want to continue and create those values for each individual player within a team concept. And so, while developing the understanding that preparation, serving others, and strengthen character, self-confidence, and focusing on the fundamentals, those are key ingredients to success on and off the court. And so that's what we want our players to understand, that, it's not just about basketball, but what you do now basically follows you the rest of your life. So a lot of times too, with the Central Alabama Jaguars, a lot of players that, like I stated earlier on, we have players from all over Dothan, Georgia, some of those areas. And so most of those guys has been to college. Most of them have played overseas. And so this is a second chance. I wouldn't say second chance but we can treat it as such, that those guys can pretty much get paid to play, but also get a better look at going overseas as well. And so we were a part of the TBL this past season. And so basically the TBL is kind of like a step under the NBA G League. And most, like I stated early on, paid opportunities, but it's also a bigger platform for them to go overseas at an easier way with video recording. We do learn community responsibility. We are out in the community. We did participate with the Turkey Day Classic, Christmas parades, all of that kind of stuff. We do go into our local schools. And so you do have to be 18, but I do believe in education. I wouldn't be where I am today without education. And so we do promote education as well.
Wow, man. Doing some great things over there, man. Like giving people a second chance, like you said, to somewhat fulfill the NBA dream. But it's a positive platform, and it's about uplifting and providing a positive environment for former players or players who still have that dream. That's amazing,
right.
man.
And so, we actually had a lot of local players that in 2020, I didn't have a tryout 2020. I do believe in promoting and marketing very well. So the team that I had in 2020, a lot of local players, well known in Montgomery. Shout out to Donnell Taylor, who actually played a couple of seasons in the NBA with the Washington Wizards. You had Craig Sword, who's also in the NBA G League currently, that played with us. Charvez Davis, University of Alabama star. So some of those guys are who I started with. Versus 2001, we got in an official league. We started as an independent team in 2020, and we got an official league in 2021. And pretty much we joined the official basketball league, and we went to the Final Four with that group of guys. And that's where we established a fan base, started doing more things in the community, partnering with our local churches. And so 2022, we joined the TBL, the basketball league, which allowed us to pay the players, allowed us to travel and get the experience that we needed as far as professional basketball. And so we're grateful for the basketball league, AKA the TBL, for allowing us to allow a platform of this caliber to be here in Montgomery. And so that's where we are right now. And so right now we're just planning and doing different things in the community to kind of promote the team.
Wow, man. Got some of the Montgomery legends to join the team, man. That's very telling. That tells me that you're doing some great stuff over there, like setting that environment, even inspiring them to even want to come play for you, man. Like, that's amazing. Dope.
Yes, sir. And it's hard sometimes, dealing with a lot of personalities. And we have some awesome coaches. I don't know if you know Cortez Harris, but he is one coach that I wouldn't trade for the world. And he has been there every step of the way through 2 seasons. I started with Cerez Estes, who's currently coaching. He was actually my first coach when I first started. He's currently coaching at Jeff Davis High School, and they're doing big things at Jeff Davis, winning as well. But my second and third season, Cortez Harris has stepped in and pretty much been rocking and rolling and doing an awesome job, along with Donnell Taylor, who's also assisting, and Marquise Glaze is also assisting as well. And so we just been doing some great things with training players and just keeping those guys active, and developing their character. Character is so important when it comes to just not just basketball, but just people in general. And so that's the most important thing that we want to instill in those guys.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like yourself, I like to cover three things: aha moment, action, and audacity. Take me back to your aha moment when you first had the idea to create this team.
Oh man, it took me, and you're fixing to laugh. Actually, I got a call from one of the players that actually played for me the first season. And he was like, "What do you think about starting your own platform, your own team?" And I was like, "Man, listen, give me about give me about a couple of months. I got to pray about it because I do believe in the word of God." And
Right.
so I prayed about it. It took me about 6 to 8 months, before I got back with him. And, he called me again and I was like, he's like, what do you think? I was like, okay. I said, I tell you what. I said, y'all get me some good players. I said, because I refuse to have a tryout. So basically, that was my aha moment in starting the Central Alabama Jaguars team. That was just, and I was amazed at the process, how they helped out, they contributed anything that I needed, connecting wise, networking wise. They knew people. And so they were the ones that caused me to get involved and do more. So that pushed me pushing them. And so that was a moment that I will never forget, starting the Central Alabama Jaguars.
Wow. And from that time you had the aha moment, how long did it take you to take action towards coming up with a name and actually getting started?
Actually, believe it or not, I actually wanted to start a AAU team. And the Central Alabama, I had my logo, I had my team name, and I was like, man, this is nothing but confirmation from God. I tell you what, I already got the team name, I got the team logo, I got the team colors, and so I went with it. And so that's where we are today. After all of that, and so we started with 8 exhibition games back October of 2020. And we won 8 of those games, and we started our season in February of 2021 and basically went 15-0. Those guys was unbeatable. And so that was a moment I never forget.
Wow, man. So kicked off the team undefeated, man, and just like you said, man, like just praying and believing in the word of God. I do too, man. Like you don't ever just want to just jump out there and just make some irrational decisions. But like you said, you got all that confirmation and it all just worked out for you, man. Appreciate that
Right,
breakdown.
correct. Correct. And so, yeah, I do believe in the word of God and prayer. And so I won't move unless the spirit tells me to move. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's where we are, when we first started.
Mm-hmm. No, most important thing is you got started, man. Like that's what it's all about. Because you could have easily gotten caught up overthinking, overanalyzing, and not done anything. And that's
Correct.
the case for a lot of
Right.
people. So that's why
Right.
getting from aha moment to action is so important, man. And that's dope. And that actually leads to my last portion, audacity. Audacity, man, it takes audacity to not only come up with something, act on it, but to put it out there for the world to judge, ridicule, or criticize or whatever. Who or what gave you that courage, that audacity to actually go after that idea and actually put some action behind it?
Believe it or not, these two guys pushed me every day. They called when I first got established. And well, three guys, because they ended up moving on and doing, and we still stay in contact with each other. But Will Franklin and Cedric Richardson, those two guys pushed me early on when I first started, and they wouldn't let me slack. They wouldn't let me sleep. they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me fall by the wayside. They encouraged me. They, even if I wanted to give up, they was like, "Oh no, we're doing this." And so, they're the ones that, those players are the ones that pretty much encourage me to keep pushing. Now, in aftermath of me getting started and being more established, more organized, Cortez Harris, and still to this day, he's still the coach. He calls me every day. He pushes me. He encourages me. And so And I got another player, Mike Harvey, who also he's like my brother. He pushes me and encourages me. That's my go-to person to talk to, like a therapist, kind of. Because some things I know a lot, but some things you do have to have second opinions. And Chris Dixon, who's also a big part of my life, who helps out with encouraging me and keeps pushing. And so those guys pretty much allowed me to start this team, keep it moving, keep it coming, and going stronger each year. So each year it gets bigger and bigger with additions as far as our organization. And so I'm grateful for those guys that keep pushing me and keeping me going and keeping me on my toes. And I got a big family as well that's a very good support system. My mom and my sister, who's always there every step of the way. It don't matter if it's an away game or if I need something to set up or anything, they're there. And so I'm grateful for them as well.
Wow, man, you have an amazing village, man. And I know we use that term a lot of times for children, but you still need a village when you're an adult. Like it really takes a village to make it through this thing called life. Sounds like you have a great village around you, man.
I do, and shout out to my coworkers because they have to hear everything that I go through. But as a 33-year-old male, I'll be 34 in April this coming year. As a 33-year-old young adult, it does takes a village because I'm still learning myself. And so even though I'm a young adult who actually owns a young adult basketball team, I still have things that I need to work on as well. So everybody's still learning, everybody's in a learning process. So I'm grateful for God allowing me to put this platform in place and keeping it moving.
And see, that's exactly why you're going to be massively successful because you're still willing to listen and learn. You know how easy it would
Yeah.
be for you to say, you know what, I own this. Can anybody tell me what to do? That would be very easy. But the fact that you still humble yourself enough to accept counsel, man, like that's why this thing gonna continue to grow for real.
Yes, and that's one thing about me. I'm never too high to where I'm not willing to learn. And so everybody's always saying, "Hey man, you got it going on. You got this." I'm like, "Well, y'all don't know. I value the opinions of others." And so that's what keeps me coming with different ideas. I love I use the Atlanta Hawks for a good example of a professional sports team. Their marketing, um, their community oriented, and so I'm those type of things is what I do. I always look to get ideas. I always look to get opinions from others. So even if you have an opinion, I still try to listen. I still try to, and that's what takes as far as owning a business, owning a team, dealing with others as far as business. You got to be able to take constructive criticism, and that's what I've learned with my days of teaching, working with children. So yeah, it takes a lot, but you got to be willing to listen and learn.
Yes, sir, man. That's amazing, man. That's some good stuff. So Central Alabama Jaguars, you all have done great things. I know great things are coming down the pipeline, which leads to my next portion, vision. What are your short-term and long-term goals for the team?
Um, my vision is to always provide a safe and healthy community in the game of basketball. Education, just wisdom for young adults. And so that's my vision for the team.
Okay, cool, man. I definitely have no doubt you'll continue to provide that, man, and continue growing and rocking and rolling, man. So
Yes, sir.
good stuff, man. So as we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask $1 million question. I started this podcast to highlight the greatness of Montgomery, whether you're from here or lived here for a significant period of life, college and military. You being a hometown hero, what makes you the most proud to be from this area?
Man, and you hit the nail on it. Uh, what makes me grateful and excited to be a part of my hometown area, because I deal with Montgomery, Millbrook, Prattville, Wetumpka, and so I just love that home feel. A lot of times, a lot of people always tell me, "Man, you need to get out of Montgomery. You need to get out of Millbrook," and I just think it's something here for me to do. I'm not done uh, doing what I need to do to build my community up as a young adult. And so I don't know what my calling is till this day. I'm 33 years old. I don't know what my calling is. I don't know what God has in store for me, but I do believe in my life, I do believe I'm here to touch someone, to make someone else's life is better. Even if I feel like mine is not going as planned or as it should, I'm always going to be here to encourage others and keep others pushing. And so that's my livelihood. That's how I live my life, giving back to others and doing what I need to do to build my community up. And so that's why I'm grateful that I'm able to be here in my hometown, doing what I need to do to promote the Central Alabama Jaguars, but also give back to the community.
And that's so dope, man, because a lot of people do say stuff like that. Like I heard that a lot, even in my own life. Like, why you still in Montgomery? Why you still here? And everything you just said is so spot on. Like, I feel like, man, I haven't given this city all that I can give it. Like, why would I
What
just
it
up?
needs,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? Like, why would I up and just take it? And I ain't knocking people that move to Atlanta, Cali, do you? But as for me, I was just like, man, if everybody keep leaving, when is the city ever going to get to the next level? You know?
And it takes people like us, like everybody's leaving. I'm like, wait, it's something for me to do. I got plenty of things to do. And so
Right.
I don't know, like I said, what it is the future may hold. I may run for city council one day. You never know. But
Right.
but I just feel like I'm not done with my community. And so if anything is going to change, we have to do it, whether it's violence or whether it's keeping our youth educated on what's going on in the world. It has to be us. It starts with us. And so that's why I'm here. I'm planning on staying here. And so, yeah, I'm going to stick with my community. I love my community. And so I'm going to be here.
Much respect, man. Much respect. So, Bryishun, how can the people connect with you? What are your social media handles and website?
So to connect with me, my name is Bryishun Pernell. But to connect with the team, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Central Alabama Jaguars. Our website is www.centralalabamajags.com. And so you all are more than welcome to connect with us. If you got any ideas, inbox us. If you want to participate with any of our game days, if you want our mascots, we have a mascot, our dancers. If you have any ideas, if you want us to show up to any community events, hit us up. My phone number is 334-328-5465 and get connected with us, man. We are here to do whatever it takes to build our community up.
Yes, sir. And of course, I'll put all of the information in the description of the episode. Hey, Bryishun, thanks again for the conversation, man. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Doug.
Yes, sir. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumtown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Go on. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.